According to statistics, up to May 2018, Vietnam has about 500,000 small and medium enterprises (SMEs), accounting for 98% of the total number of enterprises nationwide. The question for business executives is how to grow the business effectively and improve the business standing in the value chain. The 4.0 economic context offers many opportunities and challenges for business leaders. In today's volatile business environment, businesses can only succeed when they adapt and position themselves to be different in the marketplace. Knowing the rules, many leaders of Vietnamese enterprises have been focusing on learning, improving management knowledge to be ready to deal with business difficulties. Specifically, change management is an activity in which interests many businessmen. In today's program, we learn about managing change in business management and how to manage opportunities and challenges effectively. Welcome everyone to Sharing Vietnam from VTC10 NetViet channel. The society is more and more developed. Enterprises are constantly improving their way of managing business to be ready to face challenges and get more success and achievement in business. Today, we are going to have a talk with Dr. Alok Brahawai. He is the former Vice President and Strategist of Canon Asia about the change management. Thank you, Dr. Alok, for joining our program today. Can you share about your strategic consulting activities in Vietnam for businesses in recent years?
So I started actually my consulting almost about a year ago after I left my assignment at Asia strategy role in Singapore with Canon. And in this last 1 year, I have been focusing essentially in helping leaders and leadership journey of transformation. Interestingly, all business organizations are changing because of opportunities or because of pressure of challenges, but they are changing. They have an option not to change, but that option is a bad option because that option will take them to downhill. In Vietnam, I started 6 months ago, and I noticed to my surprise that there is a very high degree of sensitivity towards improving, adopting new practices, and leaders are essentially trying to make their organization more agile so that they can change quickly.
For SMEs in Vietnam, what are the difficulties and challenges they have to face when competing with their foreign counterparts in the integration period?
If you notice in the last 10 years, organizations didn't have to go through these unpredictable changes in the previous decades. They were happening, but the pace was slow, intensity was low, and impact was less. Today, impact is phenomenal, intensity is huge, and frequency of changes is very, very fast. Frequency of disruption is very, very fast. So in this new era, if you will, of Industry 4.0, almost all companies around the world are experiencing this issue. Vietnam is at the cusp of a big leap, so to say, in the economic growth. The momentum is happening, and I can feel it. More and more companies are starting, more and more people are starting companies. And business leaders are beginning to feel the pain and gain. They are feeling the pain of competition, they are feeling the pain of their old mindset or old business model, and they are seeing the gain of change, adopting new practices, or even trying out new business models. In Vietnam, it is very heartening actually that SME segment, which always is the biggest in every country. In fact, more than 50% GDP is basically contributed by SME, and more than 97% of companies are SMEs. They are small, and therefore there is a very high degree of readiness that they need for coming up to a level when it becomes a very smooth journey.
Enterprises have to change a lot to catch up with the market and improve the competitiveness. So what do you think is the most important point that Vietnamese businesses have to pay attention to in change management?
So one of the most important thing is, of course, the customer-centric propositions. Experience is becoming more important. You see, now it is very difficult to come with a unique idea that creates something that never existed. In SME, you got people who are competing in a crowded place. How do you differentiate? How do you avoid the threat of commoditization? Because if you don't look at that, you have only one choice. The choice is to compete on price. That is not a very good choice. That choice will lower your price realization and therefore profits, and will make you operate at very thin margin, very often at losses, and you will not be able to scale up. And a differentiation in customer experience becomes very important when it comes to operating in a space which is very crowded.
Recently, the HBR Business School, a business knowledge training unit, has organized a series of workshops on change management taught by Dr. Alok. The seminar attracted the attention and received many positive feedback from businessmen, administrators, business owners throughout Vietnam.
Tôi rất là ấn tượng về những cái bề dày cái kinh nghiệm của thầy, và khi mà học ở thầy ấy, thì tôi tham gia cái chương trình đó là học về quản trị sự thay đổi. Thì trước đây khi mà chưa tới cái khóa học này thì tôi nghĩ cái sự thay đổi nó chỉ diễn ra ở cái cấp độ bản thân của cái người lãnh đạo cũng như là cái sự ảnh hưởng của họ tới người khác. Nhưng mà đến đây tôi thấy có một cái sự khái niệm mới, đó là về cái sự quản trị thay đổi của tổ chức, là người lãnh đạo là người thay đổi trước tiên, và cái người lãnh đạo đó phải dẫn dắt được cái tổ chức của mình, và lúc đó thì sẽ phát triển được cái doanh nghiệp của mình, và cũng như là để cho cái doanh nghiệp mình trường tồn.
Các khóa học của thầy thì cũng là những vấn đề bức bối của doanh nghiệp Việt Nam. Và sau khi học thầy thì giải quyết được toàn bộ những cái bức bối đấy, và mình biết là mình phải làm như nào, tại sao, và mình làm sao để cho doanh nghiệp mình phát triển hơn, đi bền vững hơn, và mình biết những điểm nào, điểm yếu và điểm mạnh của doanh nghiệp để mình còn biết để mình phát triển.
What did we say yesterday?
The HBR Business School continuously updates the latest knowledge about leadership and governance in courses and seminars. Being knowledgeable about business administration in general and managing changes in particular helps Vietnamese businesses to have the right direction in developing their businesses and improving their competitiveness with foreign companies in the integration era.
Sometimes feeling of, but I
The Industrial Revolution 4.0 is affecting Vietnamese businesses more rapidly than ever. How do you assess the acumen and competitiveness of Vietnamese businesses?
Industry 4.0 is affecting everywhere, and it is going to continue to affect everywhere. Most importantly, it is making this very, very connected world. And Vietnamese business leaders are also going to face these three challenges. The first way, and also opportunities. Now begin to think about what impact this can create in your business. Can I make my value proposition in small packets? And can I create different business models selling to subscription? The second area in which it is impacting, Industry 4.0 is impacting, which will affect Vietnamese business enterprises, is where industry boundaries are collapsing. So you are a part of a bigger ecosystem, and therefore suddenly competition can come from anywhere to compete with you because the business model is the same. The third way in which this Industry 4.0 is impacting we are coming to the stage of everything digital, which means not only my customers are changing, but my employees are changing too. Business leaders in Vietnam are beginning to understand the customer piece considering these factors and become globally competitive.
How do Vietnamese businesses in general and SMEs in particular improve the change management?
There are three things in any change management that I always ask business leaders. First, why change? There must be a real reason for change. You don't change for sake of change. We know that we have to change. Now this suddenly wakes you up. It wakes organization. The second vital question, what change? You change, but you change by continuously improving. At any point of time, companies should have 10 to 20 improvement projects running all the time. You got to build new culture, for instance. And the third important thing, how to change. It is not easy. You are now dealing with a person's emotions. We are making sure we provide knowledge to people, so there is no uncertainty. Uncertainty should be zero. And second, to take control of powerlessness, you give them more control. And therefore, as leaders, I have stopped saying manage change. I have started saying drive change. And you drive change by letting people manage change. So you drive change within, and you do it by handling people's emotions and feelings, and your change is going to be really enduring.
There are a lot of mindsets to change management effectively, so we have to mention to the 4 P's mindset. Could you please explain what are 4 P's and how to apply these mindset in business management?
So leadership is at 3 levels. One is called the leadership of self. That means you got to lead yourself. 4P mindset is a beginning. The first P, leaders think positive. Leaders cannot be negative. Positivity is nothing but hope. Positive means my tomorrow is going to be better than yesterday. That mindset is what pulls leaders forward. If a leader thinks tomorrow is going to be worse than yesterday, then you are on a downward spiral and you take with you the entire organization out. So leaders need to be on the upward spiral, which means I am always positive. The second mindset that I talk about is progressive mindset. Progressive mindset essentially means that how do I continuously improve? Is the mindset behind winners in sports or in science or technology, wherever you see, you will find one commonality with leaders, and that is that they always have a growth mindset. And the third important thing that leaders must have, what I call, is persistence. No reason to give up. Change. Again move. If it is not working, think about why it is not working. Change. Move up. And it will work someday. Persistence is key. Persistence is what creates encouragement. The 4th P for a leader, I call it a mindset of perfection. Perfection doesn't mean 100%. Perfection means pursuit to excellence. When that's the mindset I'll have, I will produce quality.
Thank you for all of your sharing on this interesting topic. We hope that you have more practical and useful lectures to build the strong business competence in Vietnam. That is the end of our program today. If you have any comment, please email us through sharingvietnam@netvietTV.net. Thank you and see you next time.